Money can be a tool for good. It can help a friend in need. It can ease someone's burden. Yet money can also bring pain. A simple act of kindness can turn into regret. A loan can become a heavy weight on the heart. In our daily lives, we meet many people who ask for help. Sometimes we feel moved to give. Other times, doubt whispers in our mind. The Buddha taught that true giving comes from a place of balance. He spoke of giving without attachment. He showed how generosity must flow from insight. This insight helps us know when to give and when to step back. It helps us avoid harm to ourselves and to others. In every choice, we can practice mindfulness. We can notice our feelings. We can sense any fear or guilt. We can breathe and listen. Then we can respond with clarity. We can ask ourselves, is this gift truly helpful? Or is it an act of fear or habit? When someone asks to borrow money, we face a test. It is a test of our goodwill. It is a test of our boundaries. We can honor both when we follow a path of gentle wisdom. We can learn to say no with kindness. We can learn to guard our own peace. We can learn to stand strong in our own needs. In these moments, we practice self-compassion as well. For the Buddha taught that we cannot pour from an empty cup. If we give beyond our means, we may harm ourselves. If we stay silent out of fear, we may harm another. The middle way guides us to act with balance. In the lessons ahead, we will explore 7 simple guides. Each will help us know when to hold back. Each will help us keep our own peace. Each will help us give in a way that uplifts. Each will help us stay true to ourselves. As you listen, let your mind stay open. Let your heart stay soft. May these words light a path. May they bring you courage. May they help you live with both compassion and care. Avoid lending to those with a history of not repaying debts. When someone has failed to repay in the past, it is more than money they have lost. It is trust. It is goodwill. When you lend again, you risk that trust a second time. The Buddha taught the value of right action. Right action means acting with honesty and clear sight. If you lend to someone who broke a promise before, you repeat a cycle of pain. You set yourself up for worry. You invite regret. You may feel anger and resentment later. In these moments, pause, breathe. Remember that your kindness is precious. You do not have to give it away carelessly. You can offer support in other ways. You might share advice or time or encouragement. You can show you care without risking your own well-being. Protect your heart by setting a clear boundary. A gentle, "I'm sorry, but I cannot lend right now," carries power. It shows respect for yourself and for the other. It speaks truth without harshness. When you refuse, you practice self-respect. You honor your own needs. You honor the cycle of giving and receiving. When you stand firm, you teach others the value of commitment. You remind them that words must match action. You remind yourself that trust is earned, not assumed. You remind your heart that you deserve safety. You remind your mind that wisdom guides generosity. In this way, your refusal becomes part of your practice. It becomes an act of compassion for your own life. It becomes a way to shine light on the path. It becomes a lesson for all who see. You show that true giving flows from clear sight. You show that kindness includes care for ourselves. You show that peace grows when we honor both love and wisdom. Don't lend to individuals who are irresponsible with their own finances. Some people spend freely without thought. They chase impulse or habit. They buy beyond their means. They borrow without planning. Their lives become tangled in worry. Their hearts grow heavy with regret. When you lend to such a person, you step into that chaos. You risk loss and stress. The Buddha spoke of mindfulness. Mindfulness means noticing each choice. It means seeing how desires can lead us astray. It means waking to the consequences of our actions. Before you say yes, look at the person's habits. Have they saved? Have they budgeted? Do they show care for what they already have? Do they plan for tomorrow? If the answer is no, pause. You can still care. You can still speak kindly. You can still hold space for their struggles. But you do not have to put your money at risk. Offer words instead. Offer guidance. Invite them to create a budget. Invite them to learn simple steps of money care. By doing this, you offer a higher gift than cash. You offer the seeds of lasting change. You nurture responsibility in their heart. You honor the teachings of balance. You live the wisdom of right livelihood. You practice generosity in its fullest form. You give both kindness and clarity. In these moments, you become a guide. You become a mirror. You reflect what true care looks like. You show that support is not just about money. It is about growth. It is about learning. It is about waking to our deeper potentials. By choosing not to lend to the irresponsible, you protect your peace. You protect your resources. You honor the path of balance. You open the door for others to learn. You sow seeds of wisdom that may blossom in time. Refrain from lending to those who don't respect the value of money. Money carries energy. It represents effort. It represents hours of life. The Buddha taught respect for all things. He showed how reverence begins with mindfulness. When someone treats money as if it has no weight, they show disregard for effort. They show disregard for the work behind each coin. When you lend to them, you reinforce that disregard. You tell them, money is no big deal. This weakens your own gratitude. This dulls your own wisdom. Instead, honor the value of each note. Honor the time you spent earning it. When someone shows disrespect, you have a choice. You can quietly observe. You can speak your truth. You can say, I see you treat money lightly. I treat it with care, so I can't lend right now. In this way, you teach without judgment. You invite them to value what they ask for. You guide them toward gratitude. By refusing in this way, you stand on firm ground. You protect your own awareness. You protect your own sense of worth. You practice right view, seeing things as they truly are. You practice right intention, acting with clarity and care, and you practice right speech, speaking truth with kindness. Your refusal is not a punishment. It is a reflection of your own path. It is a living teaching. It is an invitation for them to pause and rethink. It is a gift of gentle honesty. When delivered with love, it can open their heart. It can show them the beauty of gratitude. It can help them awaken to the blessings they already hold. Be cautious lending to people who become defensive or avoid discussing repayment. Some requests come with tension. A question about repayment may feel awkward. A gentle reminder might spark anger. When someone reacts with hostility, it signals more than fear. It signals a lack of trust. It signals an unwillingness to face responsibility. The Buddha taught us to meet conflict with mindfulness. He showed that anger is a cloud that blocks clear sight. He showed that avoidance is a way to hide from truth. When you sense defensiveness, breathe. Notice any tightness in your chest. Notice any urgency to give in. Notice the knot of worry that forms. Then choose kindness and clarity. You can say, I understand this is hard, but I need to know when you can repay. If the other person lashes out or deflects, you can pause again. You can choose to protect your own peace by stepping back. This is not a betrayal of compassion. It is a deep act of care. It is compassion for both hearts. It says, I will not enter conflict with money. It says, I respect your feelings. I respect my own needs. It says, I choose honesty over discomfort. When you hold that boundary, you become a model of strength. You become an example of calm in the face of storm. You teach that respect breeds trust. You teach that true giving flows from clear agreement. You teach that love can hold space for honesty. In this way, your caution becomes a gift. It becomes an act of service. It becomes a quiet beacon reminding us all that true generosity includes clear communication. Don't lend to those who pressure or guilt trip you into giving. Pressure can come in gentle words. It can come in heavy sighs. It can come in silent stares. It can come in tears or in anger. When you feel that nudge of guilt, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to regret. One path leads to self-betrayal. The Buddha taught us to guard our hearts. He taught us to be free from cravings and aversions. Guilt is a subtle chain that binds us. When someone leans on guilt, notice your body, notice your heart, notice any quickened pulse, notice the taste of fear. In these moments, pause, breathe in, breathe out. Remind yourself, I am my own master. My giving flows from choice. Speak your truth with kindness. Say, "I'm sorry you feel this way. I wish I could help more, but I'm unable to lend right now." This gentle refusal is full of respect. It holds space for another's pain. It holds space for your own limits. It shows that true care honors both. It shows that giving is not a result of force. It shows that love is never born of guilt. By refusing guilt-driven demands, you free yourself. You free your own generosity. You ensure that when you do give, it is pure. You ensure that your kindness flows from an open heart. You keep your practice alive with each choice. You walk the path of freedom, of clarity, of compassion. Avoid lending to individuals who have no clear plan for repayment. A promise without a plan is just a wish. It drifts away like smoke. The Buddha taught the power of intention backed by action. He taught us that thoughts must become deeds. A plan gives shape to intention. It gives breath to dreams. Without it, a loan is a gamble. It is an act of hope without roots. When someone asks, ask gently, "How will you repay?" If they falter, if they shrug, if they say, "I'll figure it out later," pause. This is your moment to honor clarity. You can say, "I want to help in a way that works for both of us. Can you share a clear plan?" If they resist, you can stand firm and say, "I'm sorry. I need more detail before I lend." In doing so, you teach responsibility. You teach that money is not magic. You teach that generosity is not careless. You show that love includes structure. You show that care includes planning. You protect yourself from future stress. You protect the borrower from false comfort. You invite them to step into their own power. By insisting on a plan, you guide them toward accountability. You open a path for them to grow. You offer a chance to turn wish into action. You honor the balance of heart and mind. You walk the middle way between blind faith and harsh judgment. Never lend more than you can afford to lose or are willing to gift. Some money is meant to be a gift. Other money is a loan. Don't blur that line. The Buddha spoke of giving with joy. He spoke of giving as a practice of inner freedom. When you give beyond your means, you create anxiety. You weigh down your mind. You unsettle your spirit. Before you take a step, know your boundary. Know the amount that will not hurt your peace. Know the sum you can lose with a smile. If the person cannot repay, let it be a gift. Let it flow from your well of kindness. But if it goes beyond your comfort, say no. Saying no can be soft. You can say, "I'm honored you trust me, but this exceeds what I can share right now." Your heart stays calm. Your mind stays clear. Your spirit stays light. In that moment, you practice detachment. You practice generosity without suffering. You practice freedom in giving. When you honor this boundary, you live the middle way. You live with both grace and wisdom. You live with both compassion and clarity. You live as a light for others. You live as proof that true giving is gentle, grounded, and free. In each choice to lend or not, we find a chance to practice wisdom. We find a chance to honor our own needs. We find a chance to teach without words. May these simple guides help you walk with both compassion and care. May they protect your peace. May they strengthen your heart. May they light your path.